Hey Flosstube, welcome to Creative Whim Studio. Hey friends, this is not the kind of video I like to make. We have an issue with Santa's delivery chart. So I was making notes because I wanted to do a regular floss tube and I was going to talk about Santa's delivery because of the perforated paper, the black perforated paper, I can't say it, the black perforated paper shortage. I wanted to go over different options for making it black. As I was looking at the pattern and everything, I realized that I put the wrong instructions on the pattern. So I thought, you know, I'm just gonna make a separate video from my floss tube that is dedicated to the Santa's delivery chart and design. So if you purchased that from me at the Jingle Ball, first of all, thank you very much. It was by far our best seller, I think ever. The kit sold out in less than 30 minutes, and it was overwhelming how many paper charts, PDFs, and kits sold. I was just blown away. So thank you for that response. It was a response I had hoped for, just for the fact that I love this finish. It's such a new and different finish, and that's exactly what I was going for. I just wanted, well, someone asked me what was your inspiration during my meet and greet, during the Jingle Ball. So I might as well share that with you. Well, these three Santas, one of them, the Santa number one, let me hold him up here. He was painted many years ago. It's a painting called Star So Bright. And let me see if I can lay my hands on that painting for you. Let me just take a quick break and see if I can locate it. Okay, Star So Bright. This was painted, oh, it doesn't say. Oh God, I don't know. It's a good 15 to 20 years old. Next year, 2024 in June that was the month that we started Primitive Folk 30 years ago. So we have been in business for 30 years next year. So we want to do something super special and fantastic for everyone next year. Anyways, this is Star So Bright. So this is where this guy came from. He's going in the opposite direction because I had to have all the deer flying in the same direction. So anyways, that's him. I think he's super cute. And then let me show you, just while I have the artwork out, I will show you where the other ones came from. That one's going in the same direction. So I created a fabric line for Riley Blake that comes out next year called Up on the Housetop. And all of the art is in this watercolor pad. But anyway, this is him. Ah! This is him. Okay, and then the last one, the little green coat Santa. Well, here's Stuck Santa. He was very popular at the Jingle Ball. Everybody wanted to dance with him. I love him. And then here is the little green coat Santa guy. Again, going in the wrong direction, but that's where I got him from. So they were inspired from my artwork. Let's just say that. That's the long way of saying it, but I know a lot of people will comment and say we really like to know or like to see where you get your designs, if it comes from your artwork or not. So that's why I wanted to share that with you. I knew I was going to chart those. Just something about Santa riding a reindeer with his sack. I mean, I know he has a sleigh. He has a team of 8, you know, reindeer with number 9 Rudolph leading the way. But in my creative whims mind, I do things differently. And so Santa sometimes, you know, maybe the story is Santa was done delivering and he forgot a few houses. Or maybe they were naughty kids and they redeemed themselves at the last minute. So Santa wanted to deliver from them and they didn't need the whole team. He just needed one sack full of toys to deliver to those children that changed their attitude, so to speak. That is the inspiration. And then I just wanted to do something different. And up on the housetop is about Santa delivering toys, my fabric line, okay? So Santa is either standing on the rooftop or the chimney, or he is flying on, you know, riding a reindeer, okay? And I just had this thought of Santa flying over the rooftops, just like that painting, that last one I showed you, that green coat Santa. He's flying over the rooftops of a little town. And I'm like, you know, that'd be a lot to stitch, all these houses and all of the, you know, and I'm like, well, why not, you know, just make it so that you stitch the pieces and they are elevated on a dowel some way. I mean, my vision was to have the base be a star shaped, but you know, that's where Chantel's genius comes in, because she knows how to make it more functional and what's going to work best for you as far as the balance of it and everything. So I love that she made it, you know, the stars or the rounds, and then like 2 rounds and then a smaller round, and then the star goes on that one. I love that she did that. I think it looks super cool that way. It gives it more interest. So I was at a retreat. It was the Primitive Gatherings retreat in October, and I was talking to Chantel about it. And I told her my idea, and she's like, yes, we can do that. I love her. That is her attitude. Yes, we can do that. And then she gets home and goes, how are we going to do that? But they figure it out. Her and her husband, I almost said Matt. Brian. Matt is Beth Twist. I'm trying to learn everyone's husband's names now. Her husband is really good at figuring that kind of thing out too. So, excuse my fall mug. All my Christmas mugs are up at the house. So, I want to talk first about the big oops in the pattern. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry if you've already started stitching it, because on the pattern it says to stitch 2 threads over 2 holes, 2 over 2 on 14 count black perforated paper. I know a lot of you haven't started because black perforated paper has been hard to find. So I know a lot of you haven't started yet, but if you have, my deepest apologies. I feel so terrible about it. Us designers, you know, we're human, we make mistakes, but we feel so terrible when it happens, especially if someone has put the time in their stitching and now has to take it out. Oh, I hope that hasn't happened to any of you. But you have to stitch 2 threads in every single hole. Otherwise, your Santa will be twice as big as it should be, and it will not fit on the wood pieces. So let me give you a close-up zoom here of the Santa. And you know, I did a video showing all of my new releases and exclusives for the Jingle Ball. I don't even know what I said in that video. I'll have to go back. I might have said it right in that video. I don't know. I think the reason I said it wrong and typed it wrong on the instructions is because normally if you're stitching on 14 count fabric, you're normally stitching 2 over 2. And I think I just had that in my head and I typed it wrong. And so again, I'm so sorry if you've already started stitching and you have to frog. That is the big error. The other minor error is that 611, DMC 611, if you purchase the kit from me, you're going to get two skeins of DMC 611. That's the color of the reindeer. You might need it. 1 strand might do it. When I had, you know, things get lost in translation between me and the model stitcher sometimes. And it's nobody's fault. It's just, it happens, right? Well, I sent her a Weeks Dye Works floss for the reindeer. That was not my intention. My intention was to use DMC 611. So when she returned the models to me, she said, you're going to need 2 strands of blah, 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 you know, Weeks Dye Works. And I'm like, I'm looking at the thing and I'm like, well, I don't even, what was that for? Anyway, I figured it out. So I had sent her Weeks Dye Works. So Weeks Dye Works doesn't have as much floss on their skeins as the DMC. So I asked her, I said, do you think a person stitching with DMC could use 1 skein and get all those reindeer stitched, or do you think I should still give them 2 skeins? And she said it would be close, you know, but she said to be safe in the kits I would put 2 skeins. So I'm here to tell you, I don't know if it's going to take 1 or 2, but it's DMC. It's not expensive. So go ahead and get 2 skeins just to be safe, because it's not like you won't use that color again anyways. But okay, what else? not that there's more errors, but I want to talk to you about the black perforated paper. So this is what happened. I explained this at the Jingle Ball. If you were there, when you saw a product in someone's shop, if you clicked on the product, it would open up a window and it would give you all the details about that product, okay? Well, we discovered that a lot of people didn't realize that, I think, and they weren't clicking on the image to read all the details. Because I had a lot of questions from people that everything was explained in the details of the item in my shop. What happened was I ordered like 6 weeks in advance. I ordered $750 worth of black perforated paper, and from Witchelt, okay? I can't find any other distributor that carries the black perforated paper, so I had to buy it from them. They say right on their website it takes 4 to 5 weeks for them to ship an order. I did not hear from them, and it was approaching the Jingle Ball. I was getting nervous. It was like 2 weeks before the Jingle Ball, and it had been 6 weeks, and I hadn't gotten a shipping notice or anything, so I emailed them. And they responded with, we don't have it in stock, and we're having a hard time getting it, so we can't give you a ship date. And I was like, my heart sunk immediately when I read that. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't sell kits without the perforated paper. And then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, yeah, you can sell the kit, you can sell the wood pieces, and you can sell the floss. To me, a kit is not complete unless all the pieces are there. But anyways, I could not include the perforated paper in the kits, and I'm sorry for that, but it is what it is. So there was a huge run on black perforated paper once people knew that they couldn't get it in their kit. During the Jingle Ball, I had my own table for 1 hour early on Saturday and 1 hour late on Saturday, plus during the meet and greet, and plus I would go into stitching tables and visit with people. So there were a lot of repetitive, like a lot of people questioning things like, you know, how do we get black perforated paper? Hirschner's had it, but I just checked today, they're out of stock. There was another one somebody mentioned, I just checked that today, they're out of stock. Everywhere I have checked for black perforated paper, it is out of stock everywhere. So we were discussing quite a bit how you can darken your perforated paper, because they sell it in different colors. They sell it, oh, there's a deer out there. They sell it in a navy blue, which would be gorgeous as well, because it'd be like midnight blue. And then instead of painting your wood pieces black, you could paint them navy blue. That would be beautiful. I also kind of checked on that, and I think that's sold out pretty much everywhere too. But anyway, if you want to look, you know, just go into Google and put Mill Hill perforated paper, and then go to whoever has, you know, whoever comes up, check them and check their colors, if they have navy blue or they have black. If they don't, you can get whatever other color, because you can paint it anyway. So also make sure you get the 14 count. All the color Mill Hill perforated paper comes, I cannot say that very well, comes in 14 count, but the white perforated paper does come in an 18 count. So just make sure you get a 14 count. That I know, that one I got right. So we were discussing on how to color your perforated paper. Somebody suggested something that I did not try, And the reason I didn't try is because I don't have very good printers here other than like our professional one that we do our prints and our covers for our patterns on. And I don't have a way to feed one single 8.5 by 11 through that printer. But I know if I tried to feed the 8.5 by 11 perforated paper through my printer, I know it would jam up, so I just didn't even bother doing it. But somebody mentioned that you can run the perforated paper through your printer and print black on it. That would be the fastest way to do it, okay? I don't know how you would do that if you don't have Photoshop, because for me, I would go into Photoshop, I would create an 8.5 by 11, you know, size, and I would fill it with black, then I would save it, and then I would print that on the perforated paper. If you have, I guess if you have, I use a Mac, so it'd be Pages, but if you have, you know, a publishing program, you could probably make the sheet of paper black in your program and then print it out. You know, I don't know if that'll work. Also, I don't know that that would be acid free. More than likely it would not. But we were talking about that whole conversation too, and I'm like, you know, if it's not acid free, you know, if it lasts my lifetime and even my children and grandchildren's lifetime, at that point, I mean, we're not creating heirloom pieces here, right? So, I mean, if it lasted the next 40, 50 years, who really cares at that point if it doesn't last after that? I mean, I don't even know that my kids and grandkids are going to want this stuff. So I'm happy if it just lasts through my lifetime. But anyway, I get it. If you want acid free, there are ways to do that too. I used a like liquid kind of paint, a real runny paint, like a craft paint. Mine was not craft paint because I didn't have any black craft paint here in the studio, but I had some golden paint, and it's like a high fluid acrylic paint, and I painted mine black. It was, let me get you, show you what I got here. Jeez, Lou. It was this color. And I just used black paint and painted it. So it's not like a solid black, but if you, when you are done stitching on it, I mean, it's perfectly fine. You can see through it. You can see me through it, right? So it's perfectly fine. It didn't fill up the holes. I just used, I laid it flat so that when I was brushing it, any of the extra paint went through the holes and landed on this piece of cardboard I had underneath. I painted both sides just because I wanted to make sure that the holes were black, that none of that white was showing in there. But what I was about to say is once you are finished stitching on your black perforated paper, when you cut it out, you can cut the next row from your stitching. It's not gonna, the perforated paper doesn't have to show a whole lot, and I think it's perfectly fine to do it that way. So to me, that was an easy way to do it because I have brushes and paints on hand. Other ways that you can do it, and I have purchased these markers, I don't have them yet. So when they come in, I will color on the perforated paper and then I will report that to you like in my next floss tube. I purchased black markers. Okay, Posca, P-O-S-C-A, broad tip was $5.95. I purchased a Posca because somebody mentioned that or recommended that brand, and I had never heard of it, so I wanted to try it. The other one is Copic, which I have some of those on hand, but I didn't have like the wide tip. You want to get a wide tip marker so you're not coloring forever, okay? And that one, I'll have them linked below, okay, or at least listed below. That one was $3.90, so I bought both of those. They should be in any time. And then someone else mentioned Tim Holtz Distress Oxide Spray. It's for scrapbooking and doing paper crafts in the color Black Soot. So I looked that up online. I ordered some of that too. So when that comes in, I'm going to try that. I want to try all these different ways because I want the perforated paper to be versatile, not just with black, but any color that you might want to do. Because like I said, I'm going to do spring, I'm going to do Americana, I've got a great idea for a nativity. I have snow angels. I have all these ideas, you guys, and everything's not going to be done on black perforated paper, okay? So I wanted to be able to color that paper whatever color we want, right? So that was that. Now, as far as placement on your perforated paper, this is what I wish I would have put in my instructions. In the pattern, what did I do with it? Right here. Give me a second here. On the back of the pattern, this is where my big faux pas was, where I put stitch 2/2 on 14 count black perforated paper. And I put on there, you'll need 2 sheets. Well, can I just tell you, I should have put that it comes, 2 sheets come per pack. So when you buy the perforated paper, you will get 2 sheets. You know, these are like afterthoughts, and I apologize. So at the top, right here, I show the stitch count for Santa 1, Santa 2, and Santa 3. All right, well, if you want to, if you take note, Santa 1, I did this before, I know I can do it again. Santa 1, Santa 2, and Santa 3. As you can see, these 2 Santas here are much shorter. Well, it's kind of hard to do. Yeah, there we go. All right, see how much shorter this guy is? Okay, so this guy and this guy, this is Santa 2 and Santa 3. These 2, you can stitch both of those on 1 sheet of perforated paper, okay? In order to make it easier to stitch, you can cut your perforated paper in half. Make sure you're cutting it exactly in half, and you will be able to stitch Santa 2 and Santa 3 on each one of those halves. Now, when you start to stitch, like if you're a center starter, you're going to want to make sure you start exactly in the center, because if you're up too high or down too high, it's not going to fit. So you want to, I stitch from the top left, and I go like a typewriter, okay? If you stitch that way, if you start from the top or if you start from the bottom, you can start 2 holes in. Does that make sense? Okay, so instead of like when you're talking about linen or you're talking about even weave and aid and all that, you're talking about rows. Well, these are rows as well. They're just circles instead of threads, okay? So you're gonna go 1 row, 2 row of holes in, and then start your stitching, okay? Whether you're doing from the top or bottom. And you know, do it over to the side as far as possible too, because the last thing you wanna do is start too far down or too far in and then have it not fit, and then all that work is wasted. So just be cautious, be aware when you start stitching your Santas. Now, Santa number 1, and the reason he's called number 1 is because on the cover photo, he's the first one. That's why I named them Santa 1, Santa 2, and Santa 3. So that will help you, Santa 1, Santa 2, Santa 3. It's listed on the back, the stitch sizes or the stitch counts, and then inside, they will come in the order of, quickly, Santa 1, right here, 1, 2, and Santa 3. Okay? So there's no confusion that way. Okay? So Santa 1 needs to be on 1 piece of paper by itself. If you don't want to waste a lot of it, just again, start him 2 rows down and just make sure that you have him centered on the paper. He's going to take a little bit more than half a sheet of paper. That's why you need to stitch him on his own sheet of paper. But Santa 2 and Santa 3 can be stitched on one sheet of paper, cut in half. You know, if you don't want to worry about cutting it in half and all that, well then buy two packs, which means you would have 4 sheets of perforated paper. If you can find it in black, great. If you can't, there's those alternatives on how you can color them. Okay, inside your pattern, I put, whether you bought a PDF or paper pattern, I put a URL showing a, you know, where you can put that in your internet browser, and my YouTube video will come up. And I show you exactly the paints I use. I show you how I painted it, how I put it all together, glued it together, and everything, okay? There are some written instructions in my pattern as well, but I'm a visual person, and I know it's way easier to watch somebody do something and then pause it and then do it yourself. I get that. Now, the only thing with that video is I was painting the prototypes that Chantal and her husband sent me. So the little stopper on the back right here was already attached to mine. No worries, because I want to share with you the kit, what the kit looks like that you will get from Chantal. And some of you may already have received the kit. It's kind of funny because this kit sold out, like I said, before 30 minutes. And I wish I would have thought about it at the time, but I didn't. But the next morning I woke up and I had message after message. Oh my gosh, your kits are sold out. I don't want to buy the pattern if I can't get that wood kit. And I'm like, I should have put on the descriptions, I should have put that if the kit sells out, you know, Chantal will be selling them. You know, you can't think of everything. At least I can't. So I messaged Chantal Saturday morning and I said, I hate to ask you to work on a Saturday, but is there any way you can list that kit on your website? And she said, oh my gosh, I'm getting messages too. Yes, I will do so. So she listed it on her website on Saturday. I had a direct link in my description at the Jingle Ball where they could buy the kit. I mentioned it everywhere that I could so that people knew they could still get the kit from her. She has everything packaged absolutely beautifully. And then I also want to show you the instructions that she wrote. It's foolproof as to how to put these pieces together. Her husband designed the dowel. What are we calling that? I was calling it the dowel stopper. I was calling it the stopper. The dowel pocket. So this dowel pocket is what is keeping that dowel from, you know, the Santa from sliding down. Well, it's a three piece. It comes in 3 pieces. She shows you with great written instructions and pictures on how to put that together. It's foolproof as to how to do it. So thank you, Chantal and husband Brian, for being so amazing and engineering something so foolproof and easy for us to finish. So I so much gratitude to them. Also, if you did purchase a kit from us, I want to let you know that it will ship Monday. We will be shipping them Monday and Tuesday. I apologize for the delay. We have all the other orders out, but anything that had a kit was on hold because I could not get my floss in time. Now, let me explain what happened there. I ordered the floss long time ago. I don't know, at that time, maybe I didn't know how many kits I was going to make. I don't know, but I didn't have enough floss. And I discovered this in plenty of time to get the floss before the Jingle Ball. Because the place that I order floss from, it's like it ships the next day and then 1 or 2 days later I have the order. So I wasn't concerned, no big deal. Placed my order. Well, like I said, normally the next day it ships. Well, I didn't hear from them. I didn't hear the next day. I didn't hear the next day. I didn't hear the next day. So I got a hold of them, and what happened is I had placed a previous order that did not meet the minimum dollar amount to purchase wholesale. I didn't even know there was one. That's my own fault. So when I placed my next order, they were trying to get in touch with me to find out if I wanted to just combine the orders and send it to me. Well, some reason, I don't know if they had the wrong email or what, but they couldn't get in touch with me. So when I emailed them, that's what they said the holdup was. And I'm like, I don't even need that first order. I'm like, just cancel that first $25 order and then please ship as soon as possible the floss for my kits. I said these were kits for the Jingle Ball and I need them desperately. So anyway, today is Saturday. What is it? December 9th? And they just arrived today. I got on the horn with Ryan. He came over, picked all the stuff up. He took it home. He is putting all the floss kits together. And then tomorrow, we may knock it out between Kevin, Ryan, and I. Probably in a couple hours, we could have all the kits put together. And those will be shipping out Monday and Tuesday. So my apologies. You know, stuff happens. Stuff happens. I don't mean to make light of it by laughing, but I have to laugh or I'll cry. It's frustrating when you think you have all your together and you find out you don't. And I know people are excited about getting their Jingle Ball orders. And so I think I mentioned this already. I did send out a mass email explaining all of the corrections on the pattern and letting them know that their kits will ship Monday and Tuesday. So there you go. So next year for the Jingle Ball, I'm really going to be a little bit more on top. This was the first time I did kits. I have never ever sold kits before other than kitting things up for retreats. Yeah, so I have never sold kits before at market or anywhere else. So I learned the hard way and I made some mistakes. And again, my apologies, but let's think about the happy thoughts. Let's think about the fact that these things are so cute. And I'm really thrilled, like I said, really thrilled with the way they turned out. I think they're spectacular. I think that they did such an amazing job. Just, they're really cute. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for your patience and your understanding with everything that I explained to you today. If you have any questions, please put it in the description box or in the comments below. I will have in the description box a link to Chantel's site where you can purchase the wood kits. And also I will be putting the Santa delivery chart on my Etsy shop, as well as all of the shops. All of your LNSs will start carrying the pattern for Santa's delivery soon. I didn't want to mix wholesale orders up with our Jingle Ball orders. That's why I haven't sent all that information to the shops yet. But I feel by Monday I should be able to do that. And you will be able to purchase this pattern and make fun, cute little Santas going over a house. Or, you know, it doesn't have to be flying over houses. You could just have, like I have on the cover, I just show, you know, these bottle brush trees. They look so cute flying over them. Okay, that's it. Now I'm just rambling. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have lots of time to stitch. Don't forget, create every day. Bye.